Hey Atomic, how are you tonight? Wednesday's Word with Pastor Sarah. I am ready to share some wisdom that the Lord gave me. Actually, just this morning, it was kind of fun. I have had an eventful few days, to say the very least. But first, let me pray, and then I'll tell you all about that. Father God, thank you for Wednesday's Word. Thank you for again, just sharing your truth with me, the key points that you bring to my life, the way I learn from your word, the examples that you give me, and just when I ask you, you just always answer. You're just such a good, faithful Father. Thank you, Lord, for being able to share this tonight. In Christ's name I pray these things. Amen. So, first of all, do you see this right here? Like, wait. Right there. Do you see that? Do you see that right there? That is what happens when my body thinks it's stressed. I don't get those. I actually have very, very perfect skin. Very pretty skin. I love my skin. I almost never get pimples. But when there's lots going on and my body thinks I'm stressed, I don't emotionally react stressed. I don't have like gut reactions where I'm like, that was kind of weird. I don't typically have those. But when my body feels stressed, I'll get one of those. And first of all, my husband left town, so he's out of town right now for work. And the clinical director of my company is actually out of town, so I'm doing 3 jobs right now besides being a pastor. I'm working about roughly 80 hours this week. Again, besides being a pastor. Because we don't have a receptionist at our job, and so myself and the clinical director are taking over that piece until the receptionist is hired, and she's supposed to start, I believe, next week. So her and I have been taking that over, so that's part 1 of my extra job. Part 2 of my extra job is this week my clinical director's on vacation, and so I'm doing her parts of everything. So 3 jobs. It's about 80 hours a week. So even though I don't react stressed, this is the kind of thing that takes place, which I'm not a fan of. The nice thing was this week, Monday, I think right after lunch actually, my friend April came over, and she has spent the last couple of days with me. Whenever Pastor David goes out of town, she'll come and we'll have a girls' slumber party because our kids like to play, and because her and I like to talk God together, and so we just have a really good time. We played some games and talked to God when I wasn't working. And it was also kind of a good reprieve for my kids because Miss April was there to kind of help them with some things when I wasn't able to. So that has been going on. But this morning when I was doing my devotional, I'm like, okay, Lord, I had some other verses in mind, but I don't think it's what you want me to tell them. And, the upper room this Saturday at 10 a.m. at my house is the Women's Deep Bible Study. And we're currently in the book of John. John, right now, chapter 5 and 6. And so one of the verses in chapter 6 has a cross-reference. And so I went and I read the cross-references, and just instantly the Lord's like, this is your Wednesday's word. So I'm going to share it with you. It's Deuteronomy 30:20. And that you may love the Lord your God, listen to his voice, and hold fast to him. For the Lord is your life, and he will give you many years in the land he swore to give your fathers, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. That's Deuteronomy 30:20 of the NIV. That was my S for my soil, my scripture, stuck out scripture. My O, observation orientation, is life was created by God. There shouldn't be any doubt of that. Hi, Vani. Just as a tree is planted with access to water, sunshine, and soil, we need access to our source. Moses was challenging the Israelites to make the choice of life. God is the source of our life and the blessings for our life. He's the only source that gives you life. Moses wanted them to know that having a relationship with God was the only way to continue to grow and thrive. Moses even reminded them that the blessings that were promised to Abraham are theirs as well if they chose God and his ways. So they're ours. Every promise that was promised to Abraham is also my promise. It's also your promise. We have access to those promises because we are the descendants of Abraham. We are those heirs to Christ's throne. We have the choice, and God won't force you to be with him, but your choice away from him gets you out of line with his will and his protection. That was my observation orientation of my soil. My I, insightful interpretation, is if we choose life with God, we are choosing eternity with God. We are choosing a royal priesthood, not mediocrity. We are choosing to be gifted with blessings, not curses. We have the choice to love him, learn from his word, and grow to recognize his voice. He is the only person who cares for you unconditionally and completely. To add to that, I want to point out Psalms 36:9 of the NIV. It says, "For with you is the foundation of life. Your light, in your light we see light." Near God is the source of your life. The closer you are to him, the more alive and filled with life you will feel. Being in God's presence and obeying his voice is where we can receive clarity for issues, concerns, and the day-to-day happenings. He is clarity. Why would you consider being anywhere else or any other place? Because other places cloud your judgment. That was my insightful interpretation. My L, my life application is, Lord, every time I open your word, I gain a better understanding of who you are, who I am to be, and what our relationship should look like. Near to you is where I find peace, love, affirmation, and support. Why would I choose another location? That was my very short Wednesday's word. But it meant so much to me this morning because the last couple of days, like I said, April's been over. And the last couple of days we've been watching Dr. Darius Daniels. He had a 3-day short little conference on detoxing. And not detoxing from like substances, but detoxing from bad religion, bad doctrine, bad beliefs about your purpose. And it was so good. And one of the things he talked about, I'm actually going to share this Saturday at the upper room with the ladies that come. And it's all in the way we approach the Word of God. People, a lot of times, will open up their Bible. They'll open up their Bible and they'll just read. I looked and I saw a windstorm coming out of the north, an immense cloud with flashing lightning and surrounded by brilliant light. The center of the fire looked like glowing metal. They'll just read. That sounded very poetic. It sounded very pretty. That was Ezekiel. I just randomly opened to Ezekiel 1. That was Ezekiel 1:4. They'll read it and maybe for the most part understand it, but they're not opening the Bible, they're not opening this book with a specific approach. And we should open the Bible with a specific approach. And so, he talked a lot about that during this little mini conference. And so I'm going to share that, wisdom, that technique that he was talking about in the upper room on Saturday, because it's pretty profound. And this morning I used that technique when I was reading the Word, and oh my goodness, it's almost like I'm opening a brand new book. And I have never read the Word of God before in my entire life. That's what that felt like. And that is what it should feel like. I will say, I've gone through the Bible several times. I actually don't even know how many times, because it's been several. More than several. And I've gone through it different ways. I've gone through it chronologically. I've gone through it by specific topics. I've gone through it from start to finish. I've actually done the start to finish more than the others. But opening it and coming to it with the perspective that he pointed out in his conference is just wow. And I don't know why I have never been taught this before. I don't know why I've never even noticed it before. I don't know why this isn't being taught all over. I don't understand why we have gone reading the Bible the way we have, really. It's pretty amazing, actually. And it's eye-opening. One thing that he did say I've already been doing, and the ladies at the Bible study, the upper room, already know that piece. But I think they're going to come away this Saturday with a dumbfounded look on their face of, wow, where has that been all my life? Because that's really how I felt. So, anyways, Friday at 7 p.m. is Worship with the Word inside the building at Atomic. On Saturday at 10 a.m. is the upper room for ladies. It's a deep-rooted Bible study at my house at 10 a.m. On Sunday at 10 a.m. is church inside the building. Tuesday is Faith Talks at 9 a.m. on Facebook Live with Pastor Mark. And then Wednesday, again at 7 p.m. is Wednesday's Word, Facebook Live with me. I hope you guys have a great week. I love you all. God bless you. Thank you for hanging in there, and hopefully you will learn to see things differently. Have a great week. Bye, guys.